come back, the vehicle is off. The unit has been overloaded, so we've banged in more than 25 amp into the BMS. What's the unit going to do? As you can see, I've now plugged my AC/DC charger in. The AC/DC charger should go red when it's charging. So this is green at the moment, which means this unit is not taking on charge. So if I was connecting this to a solar panel, for example, it still won't charge. There's no red light going on here. You might say maybe it's still charging through here. You could sit here and watch it, but I know for a fact it won't. The unit has shut itself down to protect itself because of that power spike. How do you get the thing to reset? What I would do here is I just take the unit off its charge, and then I get myself a load. You need to draw more than 1 amp from the unit. How do you know where 1 amp is? Well, I've got an inverter here, and I've also got a Dremel plugged in. Okay, so this Dremel here, I'm going to plug it in, and we're going to bring the rate of draw over 1 amp from the Sigger. So we're up here now. It's gone 5 amps. So anything over 1 amp is going to bring the unit into a position that'll reset, in theory. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off now. Okay, I'll unplug that. The unit's still sitting on. I might just turn it back off and back on. Plug my unit back in here. It's now charging. Okay, so let's just talk about that again. I've overloaded the unit through the BMS. The red light won't come on. You're out and you're camping, you can't see the red light, you think the unit has failed. It hasn't. It's protected itself because you've overcharged it. As in, when I say overcharge, it's not you've gone past 12.6 volt, which is maximum charge. You've actually pushed into much more than 25 amp. Shut itself down. You just need to draw more than 1 amp. Okay, turn the unit on and off, or you can leave it plugged in. Draw more than 1 amp and you'll find the red light will go on, and you'll find that on the charger, the light is red, which means it's charging. So that's how you reset a V4 or V5 Nomad PDU if you put in too much power. So that was a dead short we did before, and this is an overcharge. So the unit, again, very, very intelligent, will protect itself. No fusing for you to get involved in. You don't have to replace anything. The unit just bleeds it off and protects itself as such there. Again, you don't want to be doing these things. You want to follow the instructions and specifications. The DC-DC unit you'll find on our website, renewablebiz.com.au or nomadpdu.com.au, up on the left-hand side or right-hand side, DC-DC and how to install it, including instructions. You'll find the instructions in installing DC-DC at the end of this video. But if there's anything else you are not sure about, by all means, to email us. The other thing I want to talk about is inverters. Inverters, like I said, pure sine modified wave. It really comes down to the type of inverter you're going to use and whether that inverter likes to be connected to these chargers. Okay, so the chargers, for example, can communicate with an inverter which has a certain type of, I guess, resistance inside, and depending on which make, model, etc., sometimes they won't work and come up with a fault. It's not a fault with the unit. If you plug this into 240 and it works, it's not the unit, it's not the charger. But it's just something to be aware of. I like the 150 watt inverters because you can plug them straight into your vehicle, but must be aware that I wouldn't leave this plugged in for 10 hours on a 150 watt. This will draw 109 watt when it's running flat out. Okay, so from the vehicle, also make sure that your vehicle has the capacity to handle the inverter. Many cars now have inverters built in, but they're only a 100 watt inverter. This is 109 watt. You plug this into a 100 watt inverter, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to overheat and it can possibly melt the inverter. Okay, it does happen. People think the inverter is there and you can plug your TV or into it. Those inverters at 100 watt typically are only for something like a laptop. Okay, so again, dead short and reset, dead short, and then also reset of an overcharge. And then that shows you how to reset everything. Again, if you want to eliminate any of these issues, the simplest thing is get a DC-DC kit. Okay, it has to be lithium specific. You can't use a DC-DC kit that you'd have, say, 40 or 50 amp for your AGM or gel. It's lithium specific, which is exactly what this one's for. So again, go to nomadpdu.com.au or renewablebiz.com.au. Look for our partner sites. They've all got these in stock as well. And if you need inverters, etc., email us, but the partners will have inverters anyway. So again, hopefully that alleviates a lot of the questions you guys have about charging the unit from the vehicle.